Great. Why don't we, do you mind? If you come up now, and then we'll go back, and if we can connect.
All right. Well, I am a university student here in Edmonton, and I've been raised here in Edmonton. And since the start of the genocide in 2023, I've joined my community and friends in demanding an end to the massacres that we continue to bear witness to. And countless times since, we've been met with aggression by EPS, which is unfortunate considering that their budget is largely paid for by our tax dollars. In May 2024, we were gassed, beaten, and pushed off our campus. Our food and books and tents and art and prayer mats were stolen by EPS. For what? Protesting genocide. And this was after witnessing a brutally cold winter where EPS swept houseless encampments in negative 40-degree weather and left people, many of whom are indigenous to these lands, with absolutely nothing but the clothes on their back. And I still remember what I thought to myself as your officers shot at my friends. This is Palestine every day. In June 2024, your officer killed a Black man with his hands up. Matthias Arcangelo point blank executed him. And to this day, the public has no idea who that officer is. For all we know, he could be in this room.
I'd like to call a point of order.
Yeah, this is about speaking about individual officers, and that's clearly, we are not allowed to do that in this room because there may be legal issues that come up on this. That particular case is actually with ASTRA right now. So talking about it here can jeopardize the case.
All right, well, it's just a point. I'm going to continue. But unfortunately, this proves to the rest of your ranks that no matter how big their crimes are, they'll get away with it, and it reeks of corruption, and most of all, reeks of Israeli tactics. The same tactics that allow them to continue enforcing an apartheid system that treats Palestinians as subhuman.
I'd like to still call a point of order, please.
I will uphold that.
In March 2025, during Ramadan, the holiest month of the Islamic calendar, EPS was called against student protesters at MacEwan University. Again, for what? Protesting genocide. Tuition-paying students asking to meet with their administrators were being threatened with arrest and issued trespass bans. And as Muslims who have watched their people be starved by a manufactured famine, prepared themselves to pray their nightly prayers in a cell, I thought to myself, this is Palestine every day. This year, the head of their police forces, the very one that our chief went to learn from, he who must not be named, championed a law to allow for the execution of Palestinian hostages regardless of their innocence.
Point of order, Chair.
You know, it's not that we disagree with the points you're making or agree with them, but we have no jurisdiction over that.
The problem is that you say the Middle East is not within your purview, but it was within your purview to send him there.
It did not. We are here to.
Like, why is there this hypocrisy? Is my frustration, and is everyone's frustration here?
Our rules are really clear. We are here to deal with issues that we have control over in this city.
And I am telling you,
what's happening in Israel right now, we have no ability to.
I'm not telling you to fix what's happening in Israel. I'm telling you that these things are affecting us here at home through EPS. That's the concerns that I'm raising to you are things we've experienced, not because Israel came to us here and did it. No, because EPS did it to us. And who are they learning from is the problem. May I continue my speech?
Yes, if you're
Thank
prepared
you.
To stay within that.
In April 2025, I watched your officers brutally throw a man's head directly onto concrete in the middle of yet another protest against genocide. I watched this man go unconscious as 6 more officers jumped on top of him. I watched them pull him so hard that his shoes fell off, and when someone went to pick them up, I watched your officers go after him too. This is after your officers used their bikes.
Again, we're now talking about individual officer behavior, and we've also said that that is not something we can deal with here.
But if it is multiple...
If there is a complaint about that officer, there are appropriate challenges.
Okay, on that note, actually, thank you for bringing that up. So those officers refused to have their badge numbers and wouldn't tell us what their badge numbers were during the protest. So how am I supposed to raise a complaint if I can't even bring it up here?
That is also a matter that can go and can be made as a complaint to PRC. There are appropriate channels for that. It's not something that we have any jurisdiction over anymore.
Then what do you have jurisdiction over?
Over the governance and policy making of how police and how people are kept safe in this city.
And this, you don't think falls under that at
I'm
all?
not here to debate this. Sorry, this is a chance for us to listen to you, not for me to get into a debate with you. I made that clear at the beginning as well.
Well, the issue is you have turned this into a debate, but I will end with my part, which is actually directed to you, the commission. If these issues are outside of your purview because they happen in the Middle East, then why was it your purview to allow the chief to travel there? To learn from forces actively being charged with genocide amongst other war crimes, you made it your business, and now instead of punishing the people and silencing our voices, I urge you to do your job and hold them accountable. And I urge you to also adopt the amendment to EPC Policy 2.3.2 submitted by Yusuf Diab, who you rejected to speak today, which will prevent this kind of mistake from happening in the future.
Thank you.